industrial core. Two nations shaping policies, populations, and progress for a shared century. At the heart of this dialogue is a European statesman, a voice for stability, inclusion, and a united future. Minister of State for Europe at Germany's Foreign Office. Please welcome Minister of State for Europe at the German Foreign Office.
Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for Mr. Gunther Kirschbaum, who is joining us live as we speak. Mr. Kirschbaum, all yours. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the nice introduction and especially for the invitation. And dear excellencies, ministers, colleagues, and also members of parliament, dear guests of honor, I'm very grateful and also pleased that I'm here, part of your conference. And of course, I accepted immediately when Florian Hasler asked me to join this important summit, because you should know the economic heart of Germany is beating in Baden-Württemberg. And I can say it not only as somebody who is coming from the state of Baden-Württemberg, but also as a supporter of the VfB Stuttgart. And VfB Stuttgart is a very, very important team, also in the so-called Bundesliga and our league. And we look for the competition in Germany as Stuttgart, but also in the world when we talk today about the Indian and German relations and especially the economic relations. But allow me first to congratulate Nicole Hofmeister-Kraut, because we know each other since a very long time. And dear Nicole, all the best to your birthday, and especially for all the upcoming events which we have to focus in the next time, especially in Baden-Württemberg, when I look also on the elections. And this is part of the democracy, of course. Well, let me make a few introductory remarks. Yes, you are right. We are negotiating at the moment about a free trade agreement, and we need more free trade agreements in the world. As Germany, especially as Baden-Württemberg, but also India will benefit from it. Why? I give you a short example. We are living here in the European Union, and European means we are living in a single market, without tariffs, without borders, free movement of persons, free movement of goods. And this is a huge advantage. Also, it has shown an impact on our economic growth in the past. And we believe that it is also necessary to diversify more from China. It is not necessary and also not our intention to become independent from China. But to diversify more makes sense. So we are negotiating on the one hand with the so-called ASEAN states with different approaches, but India is key. India is not only the most important state on the world looking on its population. It is a growing market, and it is not only a growing market, it has importance in science, in education, in AI, and especially when I look on the cooperation between our universities in India, but also in Baden-Württemberg and Germany-wide, we see that especially here we have a development and a future and a potential which is necessary that we use it. So let me give you only a few figures. 60,000 people young people from India, students, are doing their studies in Germany. It's a huge potential because each student is a bridge between our nations. I could describe you the economic development, which Nicole Hofmeister-Kraut already did. I could describe you what important subjects when we look also on sustainability, when we look also on our protection of environment. These are issues which have an importance for Germany, but also for European Union and also for India. So the potential is a very, very high one. When I look on the milestone, which would be this agreement, this free trade agreement between our two nations, it is also necessary to give a clear answer where we have our humbling stones. And let me say, with a clear willingness and with compromises, it is possible to achieve the goal to negotiate till the end of the year and to find a very, very crucial agreement. So only these few remarks at the very beginning. And once again, congratulations to your conference. Congratulations also to everybody who is engaged in India-German relationship and improving it day for day. And we, as a Foreign Affairs Ministry, we are supporting it. And also our Foreign Affairs Minister, Johan Wadefull, recently visited India. And this is not, let me say, one thing which we are doing one time in a legislature period. We will deepen this relationship, and especially our people will benefit from it. So thank you very much for the invitation, and then I'm also open for your remarks. Unfortunately, I cannot be present in Stuttgart because we have a session week in the German Bundestag. The same for Johan Wadefull. We have to guarantee also our majority in the parliament. That's very important in democracy, and especially also here. But I'm open for your questions. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Gunther, for that. Huge round of applause. Stay with us. We have some top editors at the News9 network asking some questions for you. Shri, please go ahead.
Minister Krichbaum, first of all, thank you very much for joining us this morning at the News9 Global Summit. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't hear it.
Good morning, Minister Krichbaum. Thank you, first of all, for joining us at the News9 Global Summit. You touched upon many important areas of collaboration between India and Germany. The one that everyone really wants to hear on is a German perspective on the India and EU FTA, the free trade agreement. From a German perspective, negotiations still going on. What are the areas where you'd like to see quick progress, or maybe some sort of, I would say, a concession from India to essentially ensure that we are able to strike a deal by the end of this year or latest by early next year, Minister Krichbaum?
As I mentioned at the very beginning, there are some obstacles, some hurdles which have to be taken. And I mentioned the automotive industry, which is a core industry for Baden-Württemberg, and not only for Baden-Württemberg, but also for Germany. And there we need a little bit more compromise, a little bit more flexibility. This is needed if we want to achieve the goal to negotiate it till the end of the year. But we have also other issues, other subjects where I'm confident, where I'm optimistic that we can find a compromise. So work protection, labor protection is one issue of it. But also what I described with a few words with the protection of environment. This is an important point here in Germany. I know very well that nations have different approaches. And also we have to show our ability to find compromises. A general remark to the free trade agreements. I could observe it in the states I mentioned before with ASEAN. It concerns Thailand, with which we are negotiating at the moment. It concerns also other states. Also the free trade agreements became in the last time a moving target. So we as European Union, we have to be aware, we have to be carefully not to overload it. Otherwise it will be rather complicated to find quick decisions and quick success. This is an important task for us to reflect it, because I could give you one example. I mentioned that we have already a lot of free trade agreements worldwide. But with the standard we have today, some of these states with which we have already a FTA could not fulfill the criteria today. So we have to reflect it, we have to look in the mirror. That also Germany and also the European partners should not overload it. Finally, and this is a very special point, I am in favor to make only EU-only agreement. What does it mean? Sometimes we have mixed agreement, and mixed agreements ask for ratification in each single member state of European Union. This is rather complicated and became rather complicated today. So if we have an EU-only agreement finally, then the European Parliament itself can decide about it. There we have to be carefully as Europeans. So you see, both sides are asked to find compromises, and but I'm confident with a clear willing and this clear perspective we are able to find and to achieve this goal till the end of the year.
Minister Kretschbaum, thank you so much for that detailed answer. And yes, we are all hoping that the India-EU FTA will indeed happen by end of this year. I want to ask you something else, Minister Kretschbaum, and that's something that you referred to in your opening address as well, that 60,000 students, Indian students, study in Germany. My question to you now is, sir, that with Germany easing study visa norms for India, how do we now ensure that cross-border innovation also takes off? Your view, sir.
It's an important, very important point. We enlarge our capacities because also the demand of visa increased enormously. It is one obstacle for a lot of people worldwide which want to come to Germany to work here. But we are not already prepared for it. So the new government, Johann Wadefuhl, and also me in my responsibility, we are now in favor to accelerate the process in general. Here in Germany, it means also to use AI for the application, for the decision about the applications of visa, and we have to enlarge the capacities especially also in India. So that means we have our homework to do. It concerns not only the students, but also engineers, what we need in Baden-Württemberg, what we need in Germany. So a very, very important point, and I think also on this subject, I'm confident and I'm optimistic that the situation will improve, but we have to become faster. And why? Because we, Germans, we compete with the rest of the world. Indian people, sorry, I talked too much this morning. Indian people are very good skilled and they speak English. You proved it in an impressive way. They speak English but not German. So they have first to learn German, and second, we compete with Great Britain, we compete with the United States, we compete with a lot of other markets. But there we have not this hurdle with the different languages. Somebody coming from India, he can work immediately in the United States. And we should know as Germans that we have to improve. We have to improve in our structures, and we have to be attractive in the best sense. So that means to offer also integration measures in Germany, because a good skilled engineer, for example, or medicine or something else, he will make a difference and he will compare the conditions in the world. And if another country will make a better offer, he will go there. So we are not the best in the world. We have to fight for. And this is not realized in a lot of heads in our country.
Minister, a lot of students will be very happy to know that. They are extremely excited to come to Germany as an alternative destination. I'm Shweta Kothari. My question to you, sir, is how can India and Europe work together closely so that their economic and political interests align going forward?
Well, the FTA is the perfect basic for it. So that means when we are really able, with the compromises which are needed, but if we are really able to achieve it till the end of the year, that would be a game changer, a real game changer in a new chapter in our cooperation, economically, or bringing people together, B2B business, and so on, and so on, and so on. So I think there we have to concentrate now, but you mentioned all those, also the students. We are open as a country for students, we are open as a country for good skilled people, and we need them. So Germany has also to show that we are inviting these people and that we are open for it. So let me say, this is the core challenge also for our country. And then, of course, finally, good working conditions, the salary has to be good, and so on and so on. This is not necessary to explain it to you, because this you know as well as me, how important it is also to look for good conditions in general. But finally, I speak what our country has to do, and there I think it is would be a perfect basic to deepen it. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, also looking what we can do as a closer cooperation in science, in research, in AI, and so on. This is all under, let me say, the parenthesis of innovation. And this innovation is connecting point between our countries, between India and also Germany. So we have a lot to do, a lot of things remain to be done, I'm quite sure about it. But anyway, I think we have very, very good potential. And finally, because the times are not easy, we have a war in Ukraine and this awful attack what Russia did. But in defense, we can also cooperate. At the moment, it's a core question in Germany, how we can guarantee the safety and the security, internal but also external, for Germany and the European Union. And the safety and the defense capacity became much more important than in the last 5 or 10 or 20 years. The challenge which we have, because we are threatened by Russia, and this has to be mentioned very, very clear. This is something where we have to cooperate more intensive than in the past. And in this very point, I see also differences between our two countries. We cannot agree in European Union that countries are buying oil from Russia, because at the same moment they are giving the money to Mr. Putin to finance the attack against Ukraine. And this attack is against all the international law, and will never be accepted by Germany, will never be accepted by European Union, because this war is, if it becomes a rule in the new world politics, then we are back in the first half of the last century. So war can never be accepted as a tool in politics. And this lesson Mr. Putin has to learn. So there I see also differences and different approaches between our two countries, because we don't want to finance any longer the war for Mr. Putin in buying his energy. But as I told you, this gives new chances also for India on hydrogen alliance and tube, which have to be built and connected, India, Middle East, and Europe. So these are the perspectives we need in the future, and also the chances which have to be used.
All right, we will leave it at that. Mr. Gunther Kirschbaum, huge round of applause for Mr. Kirschbaum. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out to join us here live on News9 Global Summit. We will let you go with that. Thank you so much for being with us here. And
you're welcome. Thank you very much. And I wish you the best and biggest success which is possible. Thank you so much, and have a good conference and a good meeting, and also the connections over the day, that means stay connected, be connected also in the future. It's worthy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Danke schön. Auf Wiedersehen.